Welcome to the Manosphere Paradigm, the channel where we learn to level up health, wealth, relationships, and hobbies. I want you to hit the like button. You guys are not hitting that like button, not hitting that subscribe button. Come on, guys, support the channel. And also click the notification bell so that you can be informed of content as I drop it on this channel. So today's video is about, I'm talking about the big shift for marriages and divorce in South Africa. In our country, in South Africa, in March, there's a report that came out, or an article that came out that detailed the ins and outs when it comes to the marriage and divorce rates within South Africa. And I thought it interesting to go through it and see the type of trends that's happening over the last, 9 to 10 years that they mentioned. So let's get into it. It's a big shift for marriage and divorces in South Africa. Marriages are becoming less common in South Africa. New data from Statistics South Africa shows. The stats body noted that the total number of people getting married has fallen steadily between 2011 and 2020. While this can be partly attributed to the, restrictions and regulations around gatherings, which led to a notable decline in weddings in 2020, the long-term data also shows civil marriages fell by 22.5% between 2011 and 2019. 22.5%, and declined by a further 31.1% in 2020. That's understandable. It was the Kofifi. So while the recognition of same-sex marriages has boosted the number of marriages, this increase has not been enough to reverse the declining trend, that's as I said. So they mentioned 2012 to 2020. I mean, that's a 9-year period. And it's a drastic change, or I would say a drastic change and a steady decline. In general, the number of civil unions registered in South Africa increased between 2016 and 2019. In 2020, however, the number of civil unions registered decreased by 16.9% from 1,771 in 2019 to 1,471 in 2020. Most civil unions were registered in Gauteng, 659, and Western Cape, 434. Let's look at the marriage age. For those that have decided to get married, the report shows that they are choosing to wait until they are older to tie the knot. Yep. For civil marriages, the median age of bridegrooms increased from 36 years in 2016 to 37 years in 2020, whereas that of brides decreased from 32 years to 33 years over the same period. The average age difference between brides and bridegrooms is about, say, 4 years. That makes sense. For civil unions over the 5-year period between 2016 and 2020, the yearly differences in the median ages of spouse 1 and 2 range between 2 and 3 years, the median ages. So they just go on just to kind of give you an idea as to the type of age gaps. Then they talk about customary marriages, however, show a different trend than civil marriages and civil unions. The average age gap is much larger for traditional marriages, where the age difference between brides and bridegrooms is about 6 years. The median age of bridegrooms fluctuated between 33 and 36 years, whereas that of brides fluctuated between 27 years and 30 years. So here you go, marriages are becoming less common in South Africa, and if you look at that, 2011, you had 167,000 marriages. 2020, it came down. As you can see, 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, you can see a steady decline coming down from 167 down to 129. And obviously, with Kofifi had played a part in 2020, taking it right down to 89,000 marriages. Now, let's go further. Let's look at divorces. While marriages are declining, so too, obviously, divorces, and it is possible that some of the declines in divorces could stem from the fact that few people are getting married. Divorces decreased by 32%, 32.1 from 23. They give the numbers there. And the interesting part here is the median age at the time of divorce in 2020 was 45 years. for males and 41 years for females. They talk again about the age gap, and they show it over here when it comes to the different demographic here in South Africa. We have colored males 43 and females being on average 40 years old. Indian Asian the same. Black African goes up to 45 and down to 41. White 45, 42, and the average across the board is 45 to 41. That's a 4-year gap there. So when it comes to this article and just showing you guys how things has drastically changed in South Africa, one of the things that I am seeing, I mean, if you look at just the 3 types of marriages we have in South Africa, which is your customary getting married. South African government says that the 3 types of marriages recognized under South African law is civil marriages, customary marriages, and civil unions. Those are the 3. It's kind of like common knowledge that those are the 3 most common that you get. And when it comes to those three types of marriages that you get in South Africa, and the numbers changing dramatically, I would say, and the way I see it is that in today's day and age, women obviously are earning a lot. They're earning, and their earning potential and their opportunity to earn more money obviously has increased. There's more opportunity for them. We don't live in this oppressed environment where they are not given opportunities. We're all on the same page, and we all can take advantage of those opportunities that's there for us. When I came up, where I grew up in a previously disadvantaged area called Mitchell's Plain, as well as Elsie's River, I had decisions to make, whether it was gangsterism, whether it was other things around me, and I had to, push myself to get out of that. So we, both men and women, I would say, we all have the same opportunity, and it's for us to take advantage of it. So if you do take advantage of it, and as this day and age is showing, there's a lot of investment happening in my city. Here in Cape Town, there's a lot of investment that is also happening around South Africa with different type of industries that's coming into our country. There's a lot of job opportunities, and females and ladies are waiting to get married. It's a common trend where if you talk to anyone and tell them to get married at 25, they would look at you like, are you crazy? And when you ask anyone, they would believe that 30 years old to 35 would be the best age for them to get married, because they want to have their fun. That, I believe, is a bit flawed when it comes to we and us, men and women. We are definitely not the same. And there's different things that we're looking for in each other, that we find attractive, or things that attract us to the opposite sex. When it comes to females, they are attracted to a man's future and what he can provide, and the provision and protection that he can offer. And for a guy, it's all the visual as to what he sees, what he enjoys, and how young she is, how attractive she is, all of that. So a woman's agency is within her beauty and her preserving her, I would say, preserving, how do you call it? Preserving a value, I'd say that. And then for men, it is to create that value into becoming and attaining a level of success, so that the woman can look at you to say, you know what, I want to get with him. But like I said earlier, there's the factor that plays into it is that when it comes to this, these marriages and how these marriage stats has been influenced, or at least how the amount of people that's getting married in the country has dropped and declined over at least over 9 to 10 year period, is the fact that there's a culture that's been embraced over the last 10, 20, 30 years, I would say, since liberation in South Africa, or at least our country became independent and a democratic society since 1994. There's a lot of opportunity, like I said, and you can either choose to do so or not. One of the examples I'll show you when it comes to the opportunity that is available to men and women is that it is always said that women are struggling and they are not able to get opportunities, and men are the ones that got this level of privilege And for me, it never made sense. And I went to go do some research on this. And this, what I could find is that according to the BAWA, it's some education type of body, whatever, according to them, 58% of students in South African universities are women, and 42%. This gap has to begin to represent itself in the staff structures of the universities. Now, if you go to this article, it talks about how if women are becoming more successful and they are becoming more learned, becoming more educated, like the figure says, 58% of students in South African universities are women, then that percentage also needs to be shown when it comes to the upper structures as to the dean and all the type of dignitary, whatever, I don't know what they call it, but the guys that's sitting there giving you certificates and all the people that got the tenure type of I don't know what's the name for it, the chancellor or something like it. There we go. So they are in this article. They are fighting for more women to be represented because the percentage is in the favor of women, of them being the ones that are the highest percentage in universities and they are that's attending university in South Africa. 42% of men are going to university, and that figure is constantly declining as well, and that's a alarming thing. So if you look at the marriage rate, that's constantly been dropping because people are ladies are waiting longer to get married. They don't want to get married in their 20s. They want to get married most likely between 30 to 35 because they want to chase their careers. They want to go over after those things that they believe and have been told that those are the things that they should chase after. However, if I'm looking at it from a point of view and a long-term point of view for our country as a whole, what I can see is that if we are not having solid marriages and solid foundations for our society to build from, we are not having that foundation to be able to, where both parents is involved, to be, or at least where both parents involved to instruct those children to be the better citizens and to be the best citizen they can be, so we can have a good society. A lot, obviously, where there is the single parent percentage that plays into that as well. And I'm not saying anything about anyone and saying the one is better than the other, but it has been proven that a two-parent household definitely is the best environment for a child. But like I said, when it comes to the marriage rates that is constantly falling, when it comes to women going into the work environment, working and chasing careers and not prioritizing family until later in their life, and also men not staying on their game and pushing and pursuing their purpose. A lot of our society is becoming more that you're getting more and more youngsters that is socially awkward and not able to communicate and have a good social skills because they're all in their phones. All of these things added to the fact that you also have just the thing that women to a certain extent is getting to a point where they don't need men. Because why? Because they have a job and they have put the value in the career. If you want to do that, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. However, if it comes to our country as South Africa and our country going forward in being able to live, to have a prosperous future, and our future, as we've always been told, as we grew up, as we were kids, we were told by teachers, our parents, the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. So if our marriage rates are dropping, there's also going to be a drop in our birth rate, and that does not bode well for our country to be prosperous and successful and to be able to compete on the global market. So I'm just seeing that it is not looking good for our country, and I think I'm not saying that everyone needs to go back into, all the women needs to go back into the kitchen and become barefoot and pregnant. That's not what I'm saying. Don't try and crucify me in the comments. Well, if you want to go for it, let me know what your thoughts is about it. But what I'm saying is all of these things are compounding, and we're going to ultimately sit with the result where we have a society that does not have the proper foundations and building blocks to be successful. Um, so yeah, for me, it's concerning. More and more females are going into the work environment and disregarding wanting a family and going after jobs. Good predicator or a high predicator of female happiness is them having a family and being content and feeling that contentment and love from bringing the next generation into this world and nurturing and caring for them. If you don't want to do that, it's fine. I'm not saying you have to, and I'm saying that you are forced to do it. But what I am saying is we cannot have our cake and eat it too, unfortunately. There's going to be side effects, there's going to be negative effects in the long run as a country. And we as men, yes, we always told we need to step up, we need to come to the plate. Always push yourself. Make sure that you are a guy that has a certain level of options, that you can vet the woman that you are dealing with, and make sure that you are connecting with the right one, whether it is for a long-term relationship and whether it's for marriage, so that you guys can then decide to have a legacy, have kids together, and bring up the next generation. The unfortunate thing, and one of the things that I from a personal standpoint has also learned, is that when it comes to this female waiting longer, unfortunately, if you do not take advantage of your 20s and your fertile years, you do and you can get pregnant in your 30s. However, it is becomes a bit more difficult, and obviously there's a lot of things that goes into um, uh, um, not a lot of things, but the main thing is that your amount of reproduction declines as the years go on. And that is an issue and a problem that men unfortunately don't have, because men can have kids and make children till whatever. I mean, there's polls for that. But yeah, it's not to say that men are better and women are less valuable. I'm not saying that. And relax, calm down. What I am saying is, with each and every decision that we are making, and that is not in line with our natural, or the I would say more of a traditional type of thinking, it's going to affect us in the long run. Men are constantly held to a traditional roles when it comes to providing, protecting, and being that guy that guides and is the person that he's supposed to be within that traditional sense. However, in today's day and age, women are being absolved from that responsibility, and we are finding this level of chaos that's coming into a society that is not um, conducive for having a successful and prosperous country. So I looked at this article. I thought, let me have a discussion about it. Let me talk about it so that we can see, the ins and outs as to what's happening in our country, and maybe in our own personal lives. Understand, what the best way to go about it is maybe not to be the one constantly chasing the careers. That is definitely, I'm talking to the ladies. Because if you wait too long, you're going to find yourself in a position where it might be difficult to conceive, and you could have taken advantage of more of your fertile years in our 20s if you were more minded in the direction of saying to yourself, you know what, let me focus in also in building my career, but also making sure that I am following my man's frame. He's leading me, and we are then focusing on starting a family, in making sure that we are contributing to South Africa as a whole. So I went a bit on that, on this video, but when it comes to my explanation and my prediction. However, I was just trying to put it together in the things that I'm seeing from a manosphere standpoint and from a RP awareness standpoint. I'm seeing some concerning things in our country. We have a lot of crime. We have a lot of we have situations where the youngsters is doing things that you thinking yourself, what the hell? We were all young. I do understand, but when it comes to the level of empathy towards doing something to someone, that is starting to fall away, and people are becoming more and more narcissistic and cold. And I'm just seeing that as a big part where there is not this guidance that's being that the kids is getting nowadays. So so looking at from a manosphere, or at least from a manosphere standpoint, RP awareness and understanding that what the world doesn't care about our feelings. Things will happen the way it happens, and we need to make sure that we are making the right decisions and making sure that we are accepting certain things in life. The things that you need to accept if you're a woman, to understand that you have a window. It's called a biological clock for a reason. I did not create the term, and I'm not telling you to go get pregnant right now, go marry right now. All I'm saying is you have a reproductive window, and that is something that you cannot change. For men, that window is a bit way more bigger. Goes into your 50s, 60s if you want to, and you're looking after yourself for you to be able to, till the day you die. Like I said, there's polls for that. But you know what? At the end of the day, there is a negative consequences if we are stepping away even more and buying into this modern day thinking. It's something that we are part of the global market, or part of this global connection through social media, and we're looking at other places. We're thinking we want to be part of that. It's wonderful, and we want to live that lifestyle, but we are not living in that level of country when it comes to the type of opportunity we have a certain level that we can take advantage of in South Africa. But sometimes we need to just understand where we are and the challenges that we face within our demographic, or at least our demographic and in our geographic, so that we can make sure to do make the right decisions, to be able to follow the right type of path, and to be able to get the type of success and the results that we want. So I just wanted to put that out there. What I'm seeing, what is coming out in today's day and age when it comes to the marriage rate in South Africa, it's scary, and it's not conducive for a successful country and us moving forward in being able to have a successful essay. But yeah, I hope you enjoy that one. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Much. I want you to watch 10 videos, like those 10 videos, and drop a comment in that video telling me what you think about it, what's your thoughts on it, and I will send you a t-shirt to show my appreciation and support for your support of this channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to see you in the next vid. I'm out. Cheers.